speak. You and I just said, wow, that was something, that's a big one. I don't know if it was voluntary or was it somebody fired, but I think Tucker's been terrific. He's been, especially over the last year or so, he's been terrific to me.
There's a lot of turmoil over there at Fox. I mean, $787 they just paid. Why would they get rid of a guy who's performing? Why would somebody do that to their business? Because they're losing money right now. Their stock has gone down.
Well, I was surprised that they made a settlement on that case. I thought that was a case that should easily be won, and they made a settlement. Look, you'll have to ask them. I'm not representing them at all by any means, but the Tucker situation, again, you don't know if it's a firing. Maybe he left because he wasn't being given his free reign. He wants free reign, maybe, but I was surprised by it.
Joe Biden is said to be on the verge of declaring tomorrow, maybe. Do you think that's really going to happen? And if it does, in your gut, do you think he's actually going to be the nominee of the Democrat Party?
It seems hard to believe, and I'm not speaking from any standpoint other than I watch him like everybody else watches him, and it certainly seems hard to believe. It seemed hard to believe 4 years ago, but he was in the basement, and now they're actually doing a tape of the announcement. He's not going to make the announcement. You know, normally you get up and you say, hey, I'm running, and wish me luck, everybody. But he's doing a tape. This way he can do it 4 or 5 times so he gets it right. But, you know, I don't think a thing like that's ever been done, to put it on tape. But it would seem to me that somewhere along the line something will happen. There's just, this country is in trouble. We're going to end up in World War III. They're talking nuclear weapons, and we have somebody that doesn't understand what's happening. We've got Ukraine and Russia fighting, and we're being dragged into it. It's going to be a disaster. And they're talking, again, nuclear all over the place. You have China with Taiwan, and they never talked this way when I was there. They knew they couldn't talk that way, and I spoke to President Xi. I got along with him great until COVID, and then I didn't really choose to get along so great. But President Xi of China, he never talked this way, and you never said there was zero chance that Ukraine and Russia would have been doing what they're doing right now. Zero chance that Russia would have gotten in. I also got along with Putin, and Putin would never have done this. This is shocking. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that in Afghanistan, we looked so stupid and so weak when they surrendered in Afghanistan, because they actually surrendered. I mean, the way they got out, they left $85 billion worth of equipment, 13 dead soldiers, and perhaps thousands of people. I don't know. Nobody has any idea. They say hundreds, but maybe thousands of Americans behind. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. I think it was the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Nobody's ever seen anything like that, Greg. And when Putin looks at that, and when all of them, President Xi, Kim Jong-un, when all of them, when they look at this, Iran, they see weakness, and they see, you know, they didn't think that was possible coming out of the United States of America. And it wasn't possible with me. I would have had us out, but I would have had us out with dignity. We didn't have one soldier killed in 18 months in Afghanistan. Not one soldier. I spoke to Abdul, the leader, and after that talk, he and I, there wasn't one soldier killed. He understood. Wasn't not one. 18 months. And everybody confirms that, admits that, and can't even believe it. But to get out of Afghanistan the way we did, the most embarrassing moment, and I think that led to a lot of bad things.
We know that the Biden family now received money from China. James Comer, that oversight committee, he's established that. He stood on that debate stage and said his family didn't make any money. He lied. As you know, the intelligence officials also backed him up on the laptop. First off, do you think we need a special prosecutor for Joe Biden?
Well, I think everybody knows what happened. I mean, I asked during the debate, and then Chris Wallace, who was terrible, absolutely, he will never be Mike Wallace, that we know, his father. Mike Wallace was a friend of mine, actually. He did 60 Minutes with me. It was a long time ago, but he was good. But he was a tough cookie. But Chris Wallace wouldn't let me even talk about it. $3.5 million coming in from the mayor of Moscow's wife. And I said, well, let's talk about that. And he wouldn't let us talk about that. Now that's become a big subject. How about all the money coming in from Afghanistan and the money coming in from China? And it's not like they're doing anything for it. You're not working. You're not managing funds. You're not doing whatever you're supposed to be doing. The money is just being spread out all over the Biden family. So I don't know if a special prosecutor. I have a special prosecutor. I have a guy that's so biased, that hates Trump so much. And Joe Biden has stuff that's so bad, and nothing happens. They put these very nice people in there. It's really a disgrace. Here's the good news. The country understands it. They see what's going on. And that's why I have such a big lead in all the polls, including against Biden.
So it's about 14 months, 15 months before the convention. You've got some time. It looks like you're going to win this nomination. I mean, the polls suggest that. Are you thinking about vice president? You have the time. This is an interesting time for you. Are you thinking about that?
I do have the time, but we have a lot of good people. I don't like to think about it too much. One thing I will say, and I've watched this stuff for a long time, there's never been a vice president that's done anything for the election. In other words, they vote for the one person. I had a very good vice president, did a good job till the end. I disagreed with him very strongly. I still do. But I had a guy, central casting. But I don't think vice presidents have any impact at all on the vote. And this is after a long time. You know, initially when you pick it, there's a little uptick, but then it just, goes to where it was. But we have, I mean, more importantly, not for election, more importantly, it's such an important position. If something happens, that's going to be your president. And that's really the position. And we have so many great people.
Your friend, President Nixon, actually said that a vice presidential nominee can hurt you. It can't help you. It can only hurt you. Kind of interesting. I want to get to Nixon in a moment. By the